Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome to Double D Vintage Baseball Cards. This is a special Thanksgiving episode, and this is a thank you to everyone out there. I got some VRs, I got a couple pickups. Most importantly, I just wanted to have this episode to talk about my journey so far in YouTube and thanking you guys out there for watching my videos and interacting with me and leaving comments, and just it's been an absolute blast. And I got a couple of care packages this week. I got one from Shane Shoebox Legends, and he is a legend. He's been in this hobby for a long time, probably as long as me. He's a little older than me, or a little younger than me, so I may have been in it longer, but he's dove into it way before I did as far as communicating with other people. He used to have a blog. So I'm going to dive into his care package that he sent me. Blew my mind. Out of this world kindness. Like the sickest cards that I'm going to add to my collection. I'm going to show you guys those. And then I got something from Adam, Vintage Sanctuary, that just ticked every box. It was so sick. Super special. He literally went out and went shopping for this card or found it magically, because I've never seen it, and it fits my collection perfectly. Super excited to show that one off. And then I've got Don's Field of Dreams VR, a quick one for that, just to say thank you and throw support over at Don. He's just been an inspiration for me to do videos, and I just loved it. I mean, literally, when I saw Don's videos, I was like, dude, Don's awesome. If he could do videos like that, I'm getting on YouTube. This sounds amazing. This is sick. I'm going to do videos as well. So Don, it's a thank you. And, I'm going to show off a card that means a lot to me. I got a couple of pickups here. And then I've got another Thanksgiving. I've been opening packs and boxes up with my nephew, Titus, who is aspiring to become a professional soccer player. And he's well on his way. He goes to a school in high school that I didn't know existed. I'm going to say this wrong. The Barca Academy, or I don't know. I always just blow this. He's going to be so mad. But he goes to school in high school just for soccer. He actually got a scholarship this year for it. He goes full time for the last 2 years. Literally a high school for soccer, which is insane. He's really good. He scores goals and gets assists, which I'm learning. I know those are big deals in soccer. Not that that's tells you that your future is going to be bright or not bright if you're not scoring goals. But I know he's a really good player. I've watched a bunch of highlights of him, and we've been collecting soccer cards and fitting that the World Cup is around in town, and so everyone's watching that on TV. And I've been totally getting into soccer, vintage. And we're making a book together. We've been opening packs together for the last, 3 months, 4 months. He came and visited, and since then we've been just going nuts and building a collection. It's been really fun. I got some other cool things to show off, but it's Thanksgiving, so I just wanted to show my appreciation to everybody out there. And when I talk about, like, a lot of people with their care packages, they open them up live, and I think it's awesome, and I'll do that for some, and I won't do that for others. But sometimes you want to open cards by yourself, and a gift is like a personal thing. So I just wanted to open it up and go through the cards and really think through and check them out. And I really wanted to, as you'll see, I wanted to put them in my system and date them and put what I put on all my, grade the cards and put them in my collection. And I wanted to show you guys the time I take and the passion I have to have my collection, in my collection. And when I get cards from you guys, it just means so much to me. And I take care of them, and I treasure them, and I place them on my wall, and I put them in my, and shout out right here to Ray and Adam and Pepino Man. They show off my frames that I built that it's all stressed on, because I'm not a professional woodworker or anything, but they show these off all the time in their videos, and I really appreciate that. It makes me feel good and warm inside, and I just love it. And I'm so stoked, and I was like, I was so stressed out for that whole thing. I probably won't do that again, but I actually have some that I keep for myself, and I'll throw some pictures up. And when I get cards from guys, or when I'm doing my MVP run and I know which cards I'm looking for, I put them on my wall above my computer. And I switch them out all the time. So when I get cards from people, or I get cards from, or I buy cards, I just rotate them. And this card's actually going to be going on my main wall, and so is this other card that I'm going to share later. Both of them have been rotating in and out on a basically daily basis. I have them both on my desk, and I just put them in there and take them out. So that I'll show off. And then I got a couple of things from my surfing life. I didn't go digging in my boxes. I have one thing here, and then I got some really cool autographs in here, Kelly Slater and stuff, when I went over and surfed with him in Hawaii. So super stoked. So without further ado, first things first. Oh, I also have a live audience tonight. My wife, her name is Lauren. She was controlling the camera. Now she's laying down in my bed section on my side watching me do this video. So that's pretty class. First time I had a live audience. So first thing we'll dive into, I'm going to do a VR. And there's a bunch of VRs that have been going out there, and I've missed out on a ton of them. I have friends visiting, and when the surf's pumping, which it started, that's what I do. I surf. So I just absolutely love everything about it. And then my friends have been visiting, and they're going to be visiting until like the middle of December. And then I'll have a little gap, and then more friends. But I have Ken from Ken's Cardboards. He's coming by, and he's actually rented a place. They're staying, literally we look at it from our deck. So pretty awesome. And that's going to be in like 2 weeks. So Ken will be on here. So another awesome thing that's come up with the community here. So without further ado, again, first VR I'm going to do of the night is cards that mean something to me. I don't even know if I'm in time for this or it's past due. It doesn't matter. I wanted to do this one, and I wanted to support Don and Don's Field of Dreams and his channel. And he's an awesome person. He's an awesome guy, and I've appreciated and I've learned a lot from him. And he just built these really cool displays. They're just epic. So thank you, Don. And this card right here, talked about it before. I'm going to switch. Zoom you guys in. I've showed this off many times, and it's not like an epic card in of itself, but it's a nostalgic card for me. Pee Wee Reese. Now, I have a ton of nostalgic cards, of course, right? I could have shown my 63 Bob Gibson Fleer that I got from my uncle and my aunt when I was 12 years old, I believe I figured. And that kind of started my graded. Well, it was raw at the time, but it got me going down. I got that graded, and so that really pushed me into the vintage card market, and that's when I started collecting the good stuff. So this card right here, 2008 Rip card from Topps Allen and Ginter. I've told this story a million times, and actually my friend is coming, his name's Danny. He's coming in on this Sunday. And he was in the passenger seat, or he was in the driver's seat. I was in the passenger seat when I ripped this card open. And I told the story of, it was the last box on the shelf at Frank & Sons. And it was at Allen Ginter. It was like $100 and something, $110 or $100. And he passed. And I said, okay, I'll take it. And I opened it up on the way home. And it was inside of this Rip card. I pulled this and I was like, oh my gosh, it's a case hit. Ripped it open. And I got a Topps 2008 Dick Perez original sketch card of Evan Longoria rookie card. It was on the poster. I have the poster. It's in a box upstairs that my wife laminated for me. So I have the poster laminated. And literally before I started doing YouTube, I packed up all my stuff, like stuff that I had pulled out prior to put on my wall, and my toys and my cards and my memories. That was one thing I packed up when we got here after. And then once I did YouTube, I'm like, I gotta get that stuff. Like, I have my baseball card my baseball card hobby report from 5th grade, I think it was. It's on the wall, the grade, but the report itself is up there. And I right before I did YouTube, I finally said, okay, I'll tape this stuff up. So it's way deep. So this card right here was just an awesome memory for me. It's like, dude, it was just insane. I sold the thing for like either $2,200 or $1,800 in between there. Right when I got home, I listed the thing. I wasn't going to keep it. He was hot at the time. It was a no-brainer. But I kept the rip card, and that will never leave my possession. And Danny, my friend, he's coming over to visit me, and he's bringing some cards with him too. So I'm excited to see him, and that card means so much, and he knows all about it. So it'll be fun to show him. Next thing I want to show you guys. Oh, man, I might have had you guys in the wrong screen. Oh, it was probably, my head might have been cut off. There we go. Put you guys back. Next thing is I want to show you guys the gifts that I got, and they're just incredible. So first we're going to start off with Adam from Vintage Sanctuary. Just an awesome channel. More importantly, a really awesome guy, and he's become a really great friend of mine. I talk to him on a weekly basis, and we text all the time. You know, everyone's so different in hours, so like everyone's like, in the beginning you're like, oh, I'm sorry, I texted you at 1 a.m. My time it's not, you know, we're so far off in times, but it doesn't matter, because if I'm sleeping, I just put my thing on silent, and it's like you're tiptoeing in the beginning. But here's something I want to kind of clear the air with all my friends out there. Anyone I've ever texted, or anyone I'm going to text, or anyone I communicate, anyone on YouTube who's sent me messages a whole bunch, commenting, and I've commented back, don't ever take offense to something that I say. If I say something, I'm never meaning it in a negative light. And if it comes across that way, I apologize ahead of time. And I hope you can let me know. I would never do something. The first thing I tell my close friends, you know, my whole life, I've been really open about things as like, what comes out of my mouth is never meant to hurt you. And if it does, it was never on purpose. It was either a joke or something I thought you would take differently. So I want to throw that out there right now. If you know you're a friend of mine, and you've commented a bunch on mine, a comment on yours, we're friends, and any comment I make, it was always scary in the beginning being new to YouTube. You think you're making the wrong comment, and you're like, oh my gosh, I said that, did he take it that way? I was joking. Or in these live chats, like a lot of guys have met so far in the flesh, and they have like an advantage in my mind because they can like heckle each other. I'm getting to that point with a lot of these friends that I've contacted over the phone and stuff. I just want to put it out there that I'll never be mean on purpose, or never mean to put you down. Anything I comment or anything I say is just amongst friends and funny, if anything comes across on. So I just want to clear the air there. So without any more further ado, look at this bad boy I got. Okay, Adam's channel is awesome. He has such a funny sense of humor. You know, when you first start watching the videos, you're not sure, is he reading a script or anything, and then you really start to get to know him, and he's an incredible person. He's so kind and so generous and so nice and so funny. I don't miss his episodes. I let him pile up, and then I watch like 5 in a row, like I do with everybody. There's just not enough time to watch everything all the time. Well, he got me this incredible card. Pop you guys closer. Sports Oddities 1954 Quaker. I've never seen this card, and you guys know I'm a bird collector and a baseball card collector. So, I mean, how perfect is this? So this bird's called a squatter. Let me see. I read the whole thing and now I forgot. Well, regardless, this bird right here made a nest in the middle of the outfield, in the middle of a game, or maybe not in the middle of the game. He made the nest, and then they played a game, and they decided to, not bother him. So looks like they put a sign up next to him so the players wouldn't hit the bird, and he was allowed to have his eggs there and have his babies. So I just think it's awesome card. This is definitely going on my wall right there in my bird and animal section. So it's such a perfect fit. And I know he did not buy this for himself. He bought it for me. So Adam, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. It means so much to me. You just killed it. So there we go. Adam, appreciate that. Next guy up, who sent me another care package, which is just incredible, is Shane, Shoebox Legends. So let me see if you guys are in the right mode here. Yep. And I don't know if you guys noticed, but I dressed up tonight. So I wore this shirt. My wife actually said, you should wear a button-up shirt tonight since it's Thanksgiving tomorrow. I'm like, that's a good idea. Okay, so I grabbed the shirt that we had our wedding party in. So we got married, and it was just our family, like 12 people. Just our close family, and it was just awesome, and it was stressful enough, the whole thing, but to not have everyone there. So we did a party at my parents' house back in California, and we invited everyone there, and we had some taco trucks and all the alcohol you can drink. Well, I had this shirt on. This is where it came from. So I only bust this out maybe once every 2 years or something. So I thought it appropriate, and my wife said, yeah, pick a button out. So got that on. So Shane, pop this baby out of here. Shane Shoebox Legends. Let me tell you this guy. He is a legend. Okay? He used to do a blog for, I don't know how long, I don't know all the facts on everything, but he did a blog with baseball cards, and he sent me a couple blogs that he wrote, and it is just awesome. He used to refer to, like, when you buy a card and say the card costs $20, and he wrote this article about how, man, I could have bought that card or bought a blaster box. Like, no brainer, right? If you pulled this certain card for $20 or a blaster box, it's like the blaster box will never win. So he did an article years ago. So this guy's been in the hobby his whole life, and he's written about this hobby forever. He's way above my pay grade as far as like knowing the world of sports cards. I just like collected cards by myself in oblivion and just in no man's land. This guy knows everything there is to know about sports cards, and he shows off so many awesome cards in his collection, and he collects everything. From soccer cards, which I texted him about soccer cards, vintage baseball cards, hockey cards. It's just awesome. So Shane sent me a care package, which also blew my mind. I wanted to show that card last. When I saw that, I about died. It's like the greatest card I've ever received. Like it was insane. I was so stoked. But we'll start off with this guy right here. 1975 Topps. So Shane, Shoebox Legends, has a album of these buybacks. And I just started realizing these, I've known about buybacks because I pulled some back in the day with my friend Danny who's coming over. Pulled a 1933 buyback and stuff, but they didn't have stamps on them back then. And I think Topps doing these is the coolest thing. It's just like repackaged wax. They buy it and they put it back in their product and they put a stamp on it. And these are awesome. And he picked this out for me, and we text back and forth about these cards. And this is going in my MVP run series, which you guys all know about. So this thing's in my system. Let me see. No, that's not very good. Oh man, don't get dizzy. Well, I'm having a hard time focusing on this card. Well, anyways, dude, Shane, such a sick card. So stoked. That's going in my MVP album. And I will show that MVP album off in a future episode. So next card is Wilbur Rogan, Bullet Joe Rogan. Just a really epic card. Really epic card. Ted Williams series. And if you guys don't know anything about Bullet Joe Rogan, of course, I didn't know a ton. When I got this card, I knew he was a multi-sport, he was a pitcher and a great hitter as well. Incredible pitcher. He played for the Kansas City Monarchs his entire career and also was the manager of the Kansas City Monarchs. Unbelievable career. You guys got to check out his stats on Wikipedia. And it's just an incredible ball player, and he's in the Hall of Fame. Well deserved, and just an awesome card. So super stoked on that. Thank you, Shane. That's going in my, obviously went in my collection. You see the logo. Next, another home run right in my collection. Wally Joyner, 1987 Topps, rediscovered Topps. This is one of those buybacks in a pack, and I mean, he crushed it. Wally Joyner, original 87 Topps card, repacked. Okay, let me repeat that. Repacked in a pack of Topps that someone pulled, and they put a new stamp on it, and I love it. It's so sick. So stoked on that card. This is the card I wanted as a kid. This is the card I collected. I collect all Wally Joyner cards. He was the guy. He was my number one when I was a kid. And that image is spectacular. It's famous. It's just, I just absolutely love this card. So super cool. And that goes in my collection. Thought I'd show this one. I have his auto in another. It's not original 87. It's a new one. Not as good as the image, but I collect anything that has to do with Wally Joyner. That's my guy. So thank you, Shane. Super psyched. Then he just comes in and he goes, Shane just like, okay, if you didn't like those cards, this card's going to blow your mind. Well, he did a video about this card. Actually, right before he sent it over to me, but he did a video a long time ago, and I was obsessed with it. And I have it on my watch list, and I don't know how I missed this card when it came up. Look at this beauty. 1958 Topps. Tigers, Big Bats. Harvey Kuhn, and most importantly, Al Kaline. Look at that. Look at the guy in the background back here just resting. It's like the coach in like a nice red shirt. I'm obsessed with these cards. I love this 1958 combo cards. And this one's going directly on my wall. And I know a lot of you guys are going to be upset with this, but I'm taking down the 62 Topps Mickey and Willie card that everyone loves. That's not my favorite combo card. This one outranks it as far as the eye appeal, like the art on the card, the picture of this card. Spectacular. I love it. And look at this. I mean, he also gave me a card that looks like a 10 and it's a 4, and it's something that I would have a hard time giving a card away that looks so perfect. So thank you so much. Just an awesome card. Thank you, Adam, and thank you, Shane. You guys are just spectacular. I'm blown away by all this Thanksgiving and Christmas love and just the love in the hobby. It's much appreciated. Next, I'm going to show off is a couple of pickups. So some random pickups. I'm just going to show off. I got 3 here. Nothing crazy. I'm picking up a lot of cards, but I'm just going to show them randomly as I want. So these ones right here. This one I had to show off. You guys saw that I was on Splendid Sports Adam's show, and he talked about the score 1992, the triple auto. Well, I brought up the story of my friend. His name was Craig, who pulled this card in a pack and had it pinned to his wall. So I have hunted for this card in the past a lot. And then you know how you readjust your watch list on eBay or your notification list and delete it and start over and okay, I'm done with that. And then you forget what cards are on it. So I forgot, and this hasn't been on there in a couple years. And as soon as they did that episode, I went straight on eBay that night and looked at the comps, and the ones that weren't graded were going for around $200, $175. So I said, okay, this guy wanted 300. I made an offer 200, 195, and he took it. And I am so stoked on this thing. I don't care the grade's a 7. Didn't mean anything to me, the grade. But I did want it graded just so I know it's real. You know, at least somebody else looked at it. I don't want to pick up a fake copy of this. And so it's number 42. And I love that it was a lower number, which is awesome. I want to zoom in. And it was a 10 auto, which I had no idea when I bought it. I didn't even look at the 10 auto. I literally flipped it over and I saw number 42. And I knew it was a 7, so I didn't even look at the condition. I had no idea the autograph was graded a 10. I could care less. As long as Yaz was in front of this card and he signed it, and this thing went in those packs. This is an untouchable card when I was a kid. It's probably worth 200 when I was a kid. So I was so stoked, so glad to have that. I mean, I was psyching. Next card right here. This is the first one I've ever picked up right here. This is a lot of inspiration, a lot of love. I was going to bust out I have some white gloves that me and my wife wear when we're packing up her orders and stuff sometimes when we have a huge order of things just to keep things nice of her product and stuff. Her art prints, so we'll wear white gloves. Well, this was a Mangini purchase for me. He showed off a bunch of supers. And I've never seen one of these, or I guess I've seen them, of course, but I've never grabbed one and held one before. And this was part of my MVP series. So Joe Torre is a MVP in 1971. And, you know, just been going down the rabbit hole of these MVPs and working on that whole card-on-card series and picking up a bunch of other cards from the MVP year. And this is the first super I've ever owned. I think it was like $12 or something. It's just, I'm so stoked to have it, to know it's like a huge thick piece of cardboard. I don't know if you guys are aware, but these things are like indestructible. You could Frisbee this thing across the room. At first I thought I was going to do graded ones, but I wanted to see the size first. And now I know I don't really think I should cover the card like that. I'll probably take this off and put a new sleeve and have the sleeve folded up a little higher and put it up there. But this fits in my albums perfectly, and it doesn't really take from it. I just love it. I'm just so stoked on it. It's indestructible. So I know I don't need these in mint condition. I'm just going to buy a set one day and just have a stack of them. They're really, really cool. If you've never held one of these, you got to check it out. They're just really cool. So another YouTube-inspired purchase. Thank you, Mangini Inspiration. And plenty of guys have shown these, but you really were showing them off not too long ago, and that struck me. And it went in my series. So next pickup, super simple. Let me take the sleeve off. This pickup is one that I should have had forever ago, but I never bought it. And I got this for $13. That's shipping and everything because I bought numerous items. And this was $13. And like 13 and 50 cents or something like that. And it's a Burt Blyleven rookie card. Perfectly centered. Well, maybe not perfectly centered, but perfectly enough for me. And the black border looks really well. I mean, I was like, $13? I just like, there's a lot of deals going on. I don't know if you guys noticed right now. I don't know if it's all the YouTubers taking time off in November. Thank you guys, because I've been getting all kinds of cards for great deals. I've been selling so much cards lately on eBay that I'm just replacing the ones I have, and like cards like this, $13. I'm just like, dude, this probably cost $13 10 years ago, so I'm super stoked. Maybe even $6 10 years ago, but I mean, it's laughable. So throw that out there, show you guys. There's so many cool deals right now. There's so much stuff you can buy that doesn't cost a lot and it's just spectacular to have, and I'm so stoked to have that. So really stoked, really, really just like excited about this whole thing. And Thanksgiving, like giving back this Christmas to friends on YouTube is I have a box right here, and I got all these YouTube names in here, you know, that have just like that I just have cards that would fit their thing, or I've purchased cards that would fit their collection. I just have a bunch in here, and I've been doing it, working on this for a few months, and then I find out that everyone does this for Christmas. I'm just like, this is sick. So I'm really excited to send some cards out to a lot of friends out there. And Don, if you're still watching, you know you guys can all stop after I do your VR. I know they're long. Your cards are still in here that you want on my live stream. I have them labeled, so you'll get those one day. Well, probably when I see you at the National would be sick. Other cards, you know, this is one more quick VR. It's not long. James, you don't have to put me in a contest. I just wanted to give some love out to James. I'm not gonna have time to do another video specifically on this, but no one's, well, I'm sure someone has, but I had this card out a long time ago thinking about it, right when you did it. Josh Gibson. And I got this card from Doug, so it fits perfectly. Decon as a gift. And I love this card. It's a Topps Projects. And there's just so much cool information on here about Josh Gibson. And he is definitely in the 500 home run club. Supposedly over 800. But regardless, 500 is a lock. So he's my 500 home run club ultimate member right here. And it went perfectly with tonight's video. And I've been rotating this, but I have a bunch that are, I kind of like these project cards. They're really inexpensive right now too. So I've been buying some, and I'm going to have a shelf of them. And this is going right in there and straight from Doug's collection. So super stoked. When I enter it in my system, I know exactly when I got it. So just a YouTube card too. So James, that's my 500 home run club. You don't need to put me in there, but James Elite Hunter, just another incredible guy. I talked to him last week for a couple hours on the phone. Just different stories about different things. He came across this collection and just really cool stuff. So it's been just a blast. So just a couple more things I'm going to show you. Won't keep you guys all night. But like I was telling you, my nephew, his name's Titus. I'm going to shoot a picture of him at his playing for his team right in the corner here somewhere. And the school he goes to. We've been collecting cards for, I don't know, he visited me this summer, and he told me he collected cards because of YouTube, because he'd been watching my YouTube. And he was collecting it before with his friends, but he didn't know that I collected cards like this in my YouTube. And he found it, and he's watched every episode. So every week we do a FaceTime together, and we open packs together for an hour, 2 hours, to talk about life. We talk about what's going on in his life, what's going on in my life. We talk very deep about things, and it's just been just incredible for me to get even closer to Titus, and we've been close since he was born. I really love my nieces and nephews, and I have another nephew, Bruce, was into baseball cards. We're gonna get back into it. He's just really busy, but this has been just the funnest project for me, and I have been learning a bunch about soccer. And I read a book about Diego Maradona, which is my nephew's favorite player, arguably, and he arguably says the greatest player to ever live, would definitely probably the greatest history in a player to ever live. You gotta read this book. I'll go into that in another time, but I have 1 hour left. But it is just incredible. Just such a cool story. So I'm going to show the book off that we've been creating. Something different. And I won't spend a lot of time. But we've been in this for 6 months collecting soccer cards together. So we made a book together. Oh, hold on. Bear with me. Right there. So I'm not going to go crazy, but you'll see where every card we open almost gets in our album. And so this first page is championships, team photos. And this photo right here, I bought two single soccer cards in my life, and this just showed up a couple days ago. This is a Diego Maradona on the shoulder of a man. In the book, it says, of a man that just came on the field. And Diego remembered kicking him like a horse, like with his thigh, like with his feet, jabbing him, trying to point him in the direction he wanted to go. And they reunited 10 or 20 years later. It's just cool. So I bought that card. It's a sticker Panini card and another card. It was all of $2. So that's our championship page. And then this is Messi's page and Neymar and Ronaldo, just legends. The only three we've pulled. This is a legends. Anything that's in the middle is what we're basing the page off of. These are just really cool photos. So any really awesome photos we see, make this page. And you know what? This is all inspired from you guys on YouTube. I've never done this in my whole life. Never collected cards like this. When I was a kid, yeah, I would put like all my Jose Cansecos together. So I guess back then I did sorts, but not like this. This is Moments. This is another card that came with the Maradona that I bought this week or got delivered this week. These are Moments. So this is a Moments page. And then this is Rookies. Rookies that we've pulled. They get 2 pages. And then another rookie, 3 pages. And then this is Rainbows that we started. So if we had doubles, 2 different types, we started building rainbows. Super stoked on that. Really awesome. And then this is just random specials. Oh, this is still rainbow. Oh, this is rainbow. So we got the rainbow still going. Specials. Refractor specials. Cup cards, because I wanted to do that. And then weirdest cards ever. Like this card. What is he doing? We still can't figure it out. Just weird cards. And these are cards that he's watched play. These are guys that he has seen play in the flesh. These are just this is look super movie star lookalikes. This looks like the guy from Captain America. That guy. So he didn't think so. I did, and my wife thinks so. So I kept him in there. And then these are just cool cards. 75 right here, remakes. And then these are cards of players I believe that he has played with or he is better than that he should be playing. So these are cards that he's played with. Guys that he's played in either in circles, kicked the ball around, or played against in a game. So really awesome. Super stoked on that. So the card world has opened up so much joy in my life and so much more fulfillment in something that I was by myself in. Never would have thought I'd be collecting soccer cards with my nephew, who doesn't live anywhere near. He lives in Arizona, and just keep this bond going that I have for him and this love that I have to hang out with him and be there for him the rest of his life. It's just been just an awesome experience. So last thing I'm going to show you guys, a couple of you guys made a comment, or Adam, I have a bunch of stuff as a surfer. Like, that's been my life. I used to be in, I was in magazines and stuff when I was younger. So I have all those magazines in a box, and I'm going to get that box down along with a bunch of cool nostalgic baseball card stuff one of these days. But in the meantime, I have these 2 really cool items. Got some autographs in here of the greatest athlete. Yes, the greatest athlete to ever live is in here. No arguments. Like 10, I don't even know how many world titles he has. I should probably know. He's 50 years old and he's still one of the top surfers on the planet. And surfing is a young man's sport. It is rough and tumble and brutal on your body. And he is the greatest athlete to ever live. No arguments, Kelly Slater. So I'll show you him real fast. Nothing too long. This is a cover of a magazine, like one of those. It was anyways, I went to Indo like 2008, I think this is, or 2007, and they put me on the cover of this magazine. I think it's a San Diego one. It was Taylor Steele. He's a real world famous video guy in my era. Always filmed Kelly Slater and all these guys, and we ran into him at a spot because it was a boat trip. So the only way to surf these waves right here is to live on a boat, and you go across the ocean, and you spend 14 days in the middle of the ocean, and you find these waves. So this is a world-class wave called Lance's Rights, HTs, and we scored it, just our boat. These are all my friends right here. And that's, besides the story. But we ran into Taylor Steele, who is this world famous surf video guy at another place called eBay's eBay's. And anyways, he took a bunch of photos of me, and then he was in charge of this magazine, and he put me on the front cover. So he's like a hero of mine, and I met him, and somehow I got on the cover of this. So I was so psyched on that. So cool. So I just have this pinned in my surf room. I have a surf room that's separate from the house. That's all my surf stuff. I don't have a bunch of memorabilia in there, but I have all my surfboards and photo collage of all my friends that I grew up surfing with, and just photos of us surfing. So next thing right here, this is I used to go to Hawaii all the time, North Shore, to go surf, and I went this year. This is 99, so I was 19 years old, and this is I surfed with Kelly Slater a bunch back in the day, and this is the autograph I got in 99. Keep surfing, Kelly Slater. And I don't keep good care of this book. There's a coffee stain on the top. It's been with me for a long time, and there's no value in it maybe there is monetarily, but for me, it's not. I have a bunch of other autographs in here of other guys I was surfing with. This is, if you guys are unfamiliar with Jack Johnson. Jack Johnson he's a professional musician, real famous. Anyways, I didn't stay at his house, but Slater always stayed at his house, and I was at the house when I got this autograph. It was during a pipe contest that Slater, like a really famous pipe contest, and Slater was staying there, and I was at the house for a few days, and everyone was there, and so, I surfed with them a whole bunch and made him sign this. I took some photos with him, so it was really cool. So really stoked to have this, and I just came across this the other day, so I thought I'd show it off. So, just cool stuff. So one day I'll show all my surf stuff that I was in, and then my surf cards that I collect, all the world champions. I'll give you guys some stats that'll just blow your mind. Maybe some guys that collect, if you want to collect some surf cards, or maybe Fanatics will come out with them. So with all that, I appreciate you guys. Make sure you guys can see me. Thank you guys. Thank everyone out there. I want to thank everyone. I want to look at my list. Right here. Yeah, I crushed my list. Okay, I got everything in my list done. Dude, thank you guys. This has been just the coolest journey for me. And I want to make a video every day. And I literally, it's not that I can't, but my wife works in here. And she doesn't, when I make a video, dude, I make a huge production of it. Lights on. It's like she was in here, she was a live audience right here. So I don't have a special spot or a room where I can just put a camera and do some videos. So that's why I don't do everyone's VRs, and it's not about that for me. Anyways, when I feel I have time and your VR comes up and I can do it, super stoked, or it just calls to me, like Eric, 4-Leaf Clover, the beautiful cards, like that, I was just like, right, like I'm gonna do that. Everyone's just been awesome, and I thank you guys for showing me the love in my, towards me, and so much kindness. So thanks, guys, and I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's episode. And I know it's long, but that's how I roll. So until next time, double shaka, happy Thanksgiving. Tell the people that you care about how much they mean to you, and that's what I'm doing tonight. You guys mean so much to me. Life is better having friends in this card community, and I really mean that. And this national this year, I'm probably gonna break down and cry when I'm there, just like of pure joy. Literally, I think about it sometimes, and like, holy smokes, I'm gonna talk about baseball cards with these friends, this community that I've met online, and I look at every day, and I feel like I know them like they're my best friend, but I really don't know them, in the flesh. And so I'm just so excited about it all. So thanks, guys. Thank you guys, everyone in here. Theo, like everyone who's given me comments, everyone who's given me cards, everyone who has posted a nice thing on my videos, I appreciate it. And thank you. And I thank you for being patient with me on getting back to you. And I watch so many videos, and now that I have the YouTube upgrade thing I paid for, I can watch them like podcasts. So now it's like I have to go back and physically, mentally remember, like, comment, you watched all his videos, or you listened to them. So I listen to a lot more than what I'm commenting on. So just so you guys are aware, it's like one of those things, a whole nother topic, a whole nother day. So, dude, without keeping you guys longer, thanks, guys. Double Shaka, Thanksgiving. Say thank you to everyone. Just epic. Keep collecting. Collect what you love. And don't be influenced in a negative way in this hobby. Just enjoy it. And keep going after what you love. Okay. You Shaka Kang.